Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is Living Divinity. I have an early start today, and I have some errands to run, so I'm going to do my early morning reading. I want to begin by thanking all of you who are my subscribers. I appreciate you so much, and just knowing that you're there to support me really touches my heart. So thank you so much, and thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity to read for everybody. And I'm praying that the channel grows and that people are finding value in my readings, and I'm helping them, hopefully by the words that are spoken. I'm helping them along their way through their journey. So let's begin by reading out of the Bible. Okay. I'm going to read Psalm 26 of David. Vindicate me, O Lord, for I have led a blameless life. I have trusted in the Lord without wavering. Test me, O Lord, and try me. Examine my heart and my mind. For your love is ever before me, and I walk continually in your truth. I do not sit with deceitful men, nor do I consort with hypocrites. Abhor the assembly of evildoers, and refuse to sit with the wicked. Wash my hands of innocence, and go about your altar, O Lord, proclaiming aloud your praise and telling all of your wonderful deeds. I love the house where you live, O Lord, the place where your glory dwells. Do not take away my soul along with sinners, my life with bloodthirsty men, in whose hands are wicked schemes, whose right hands are full of bribes. But I lead a blameless life. Redeem me and be merciful to me. My feet stand on level ground. In the great assembly, I will praise the Lord. That was Psalms 26. That those scriptures, well, hopefully they resonate with all of us, and that we can praise God at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, and everything in between. So let me pull out a card, and then we'll see where the reading's going to take us. Okay, I have two. So when God calls your loved one home, that's what the other one says. What is my secret? Mind, body, and soul, paying attention, healing, praying, forgiveness, childlike innocence. So, do these two actually resonate for anyone out there? When God calls your loved ones home, I speak about death a lot. You know, I've had my share of losses in that manner, but I know, and I've seen many signs that tells me there is life after death. And when God calls you home, it's your body expiring. As you get older, your body becomes weaker. And during that time, hopefully your spirit is growing stronger. However, the spirit cannot run free when the body's attached. And when the body expires, your spirit runs free. It doesn't have any obligations to anyone or anything on this world, because they're just energy now. So when that happens for you, when someone that you love leaves this world, know that love transcends, and that you can still talk to that person, and they will hear what you say. They will hear you cry for the loss. They will hear you blame yourself. Why wasn't I there? What could I have done to make things different? To have a different outcome. And I tell you that mourning is a natural thing. But if you know in your heart that the body just expired, that the spirit is free, it is freeing to let your emotions go through the cycle and continue your life. And it's really difficult when it's something that happens that's unexpected. Maybe you're younger. How do people deal with that? I remember hearing my grandma say that it's unnatural for a child to die before the parent. So I'm sure my grandma was going through a lot of thoughts. So what is my secret? How do I overcome? How do I learn to survive? It comes with a forgiveness of possibly being selfish. If you're just thinking about yourself at a time of death, it could be considered selfish, although I'm sure it's not the meaning. Forgiving for not being there. Forgiving for not spending as much time with that person. You thought you had your whole life ahead of you to do that. In any event, the secret is you stay connected with your mind, body, and soul. You pay attention to living a good life and doing good things, especially with the people that you love, because you never know when God's going to take them, right? And you speak healing words to any situation, and you pray a lot. And when you choose to have like a childlike innocence, it doesn't mean that you're immature. It doesn't mean that you're unaware. It means to me that a child is innocent, and although sometimes their truth is really true, right? A child is going to have more compassion than a grown-up for those around them who are suffering from some sort of loss. A child will try to bring, estranged mom and dad back together. A child will make you laugh by some of the funny things they say. A child is naturally warm-hearted. So my secret is to always put love on the forefront of your life, and the right people in your life, regardless how much space and time is between you, you will always have love for that person as much as that person will have love for you. Those are the people that you want to keep in your life. Those are the people you don't want to betray. Those are the people you don't want to hurt. And with a childlike innocence, you would never purposely want to hurt anybody because they naturally love. Okay, so if you have a different opinion, please let me know. I'm interested to know if someone has a different perspective or if they agree. Okay, so next we have miracles now. I can change my patterns when I change my mind about them. This is such a true statement. The lighting's not very good in here. Let's see. Let me see if I can lift this card up a bit. There we go. I can change my patterns when I change my mind about them. So that would be like a simple one would be, I'm late to work every day. And I go to work and I say, I can't help it, I overslept, or there's a lot of traffic, or I got in my car and I spilled something on my shirt, so I had to run back in the house and change my shirt that made me 10 minutes late. You can change your pattern when you change your mind about it. So that's like the simplest thing that I could think of. So you decide, well, I'm always 10 minutes late, so I'm going to either put my clock up 10 minutes sooner, so I leave the house 10 minutes sooner, or 15 minutes sooner, or 20 minutes sooner, so I have ample time to make it on time. This can go for many things. I can change my patterns when I change my mind about them. So many times we have people in our lives that say, we'll see. Maybe you're talking to your spouse and you're saying, hey, we have the extra money now. We should think about making a plan to travel, even if it's just a weekend. And, depending upon what you do for work and what your spouse does for work, sometimes there's some sort of approval that needs to take place. And the answer is, we'll see. But then the subject is never brought up. So for someone to change their pattern and to stop saying, we'll see, he or she has to know that we'll see will only carry you so far. And sooner or later, the last we'll see will end a relationship. I'm talking years of we'll see. And then you see that person put someone else, maybe a sibling or maybe a parent or, maybe a friend before his or her spouse. So at that point, since they're not willing to change their patterns, then you have to make a choice to change yours. Like, stop asking and go do it. So many times people told me, you should just go do it if that's what you want to do. And it's like, well, I want to spend the time with my spouse, and they don't want to go. And many times I was told, well, you should just go do it. It's their loss. But it's my loss because that's the person who I want to spend time with. So, choices have to be made and decisions have to be chosen. And if you only want a certain capacity of my life, then, I'm not your mother, I'm not your maid, I'm not your cook, I'm not your sex slave. I'm your spouse. Shouldn't it carry more weight than that? Anyways, so I just gave you a couple examples. The second one was real. Anyways, so yeah, that was like 40 years ago, 20 years ago. Yeah, between 20 and 40 years ago. Anyways, so it's just something that I learned that I got to speak up, and I have to take a stand, And it's might be better. I don't know. Everybody's different. Some people it might not bother, and they just keep living together and not really spending real quality time together, and they're okay with that. I wasn't okay with that. Anyways, and the first one was probably real too. I have been late for work, but not really a pattern, but I've seen other people have that kind of pattern. So let's move forward. And let's see what we have. We have your soul purpose. And today we have the environmentalist. Oops. Come on now. Let me try to turn it this way. That's not going to work. Okay, let me put it back at the other position. I'll just try to stand it up straighter. Oh, I gotta figure something out here. Okay. Let me try one of my boxes. Maybe that I can do that. It's not gonna be too high. Alright, scratch that. Do it this way. There we go. Better. Oh, the environmentalist. The affirmations. I am grateful for this blue-green planet, and I treat it with honor and respect. I am aware of the results of my actions. I think and act with global consciousness. And the stone is tree agate. Let me find it in the book. Under protection. Do you have a strong affinity for nature and all its creatures? This life path includes arborist, conservationist, ecologists, animal communicators, and gardeners. With the environmentalist and tree agate card appears, it moves you to advocate for the environment. There are many ways you already do this in the normal course of your day, such as reducing, recycling, and reusing items. Tree agate aligns your awareness of earth-centered spirituality through earth-based rituals and shamanic journey work. The energy of this stone symbolizes your rooted connection to trees and all of nature. It helps you stay grounded and focused while swaying with the changing winds. Contemplate and observe how your actions both influence your immediate environment and affect that environment 7 generations ahead. 7 generations, stewardship and living and working for the benefit of the future. Animal communicators and gardeners are included in the environmentalist life path because they practice interspecies communication between humans and animals and between humans and plants. In this way, they can be a voice for plants and animals, which are also conscious beings, through thoughts, words, pictures, and emotions. Information is telepathically sent and received, which increase mutual understanding of coexistence here on Earth. Perhaps you are being called through mindful awareness to resolve environmentally unfriendly issues in order to bring health to plants, animals, and their human companions, regardless of the sole purpose and life path we choose in this life. We are all stewards of the earth. Okay, next we have messages from the mermaids. And today we have truth. Okay. Admit the truth to yourself. Accepting the truth can set you free and be a joyful experience. Avoiding the truth isn't beneficial. The mermaid looks at you with the eyes of truth and asks you to consider honestly any area of your life that worries you. We know the truth can hurt. We also know that the truth can set us free. When you ask to find out the truth of a situation, it will reveal itself at the perfect time. Are you being totally honest? Maybe you think you're protecting someone by withholding the truth. This is rarely the right thing to do. In most circumstances, it's better to reveal the truth in a loving way so that those involved can work through things together. It's important to acknowledge free will and to give others the opportunity to make their own choices based on the truth. This is also freeing on a karmic level. This card also says there could be a secret waiting to be brought to light. Trust your intuition and any hunches you have at this time. Remember, there are usually 2 or more sides to any story, so it's wise to consider that the truth resides somewhere in the middle. When you live your life in truth, you never need to recall what you said or done previously because you walk the path of honesty. This card appears in a reading to highlight an area of your life where truth will soon reveal itself. Pay close attention to the surrounding cards for extra insight. Okay. Next, we have Native Spirit, and today we have Spirit Keeper of the North. Transformation, letting go of the old. Initiation, illumination, harvest. Gather your inner resources. If it doesn't feel right, do not go ahead. Trust your heart. Chaos brings positive change. Almost all change comes out of turmoil. Do not be concerned if there's confusion in your life. It will all work out. Your native spirit wants you to know. In the medicine wheel, the west is the direction that symbolizes the fiery setting sun, autumn, the waning moon, and time of harvest, and the tumultuous years of teenagers in the human cycle. Out of chaos arise illumination and transformation. In order for the new to ignite in your life, it's necessary to let go of the old. Sweep away the debris. The Spirit Keeper of the West reminds us to slow down our rapid growth and harvest what we have attained. In the autumn, leaves are buried to make way for new growth. Release the dross in your life to make way for new growth. The journey standing facing the west and the setting sun. Imagine that all limitations and blockages in your life are flowing from your heart into the sun as the sun sets. It carries with it your cares and concerns to be transformed by its purifying energy. Okay, next we have Divine Feather. And here's the feather. And today we have the eagle. Okay. The eagle is a mystical symbol of the sun and sky. A messenger of spiritual knowledge, eagle is also held as a representation of higher authority, heroic nobility, and power. Many cultures honor eagle feathers as sacred ceremonial tools. Air is the main element of eagle, representing the realm of higher mind and inspiration. Eagles possess incredibly keen vision and are among the longest living birds, some living up to 25 years. As you begin to soar with the eagle, you are able to reach new levels of spiritual understanding, knowledge, and connection. The eagle feather indicates that a great spiritual awakening is happening, or that it is just on the horizons. The power and grace of eagle is a steady reminder that this call demands personal responsibility. As you begin to raise your vibration and perspective, it is important to notice what you see from this higher place. Use this vantage point to bring new vision into your life. Hold on as eagle takes you to your highest point yet. Know that the divine energy of Great Spirit watches over eagle as well as you. The energies, power, perception, spiritual insight, knowledge. The season is summer. The element is fire and air. The colors white, black, brown, and yellow. I am awakening now to my power, knowledge, and vision. So that's the affirmation. I am awakening now to my power, knowledge, and vision. Okay. Next we have the animal messages. And today we have the octopus. So we go from air to water. Travel across earth and over sea to securely embrace your dreams. Octopus does not wait for fate to deliver her dinner of crab, employing whatever strategy is necessary for his capture, even abandoning water for earth's air. She counsels that you, too, follow your dream. If your partner has left for a faraway land, join them. If a new exciting possibility calls from distant climes, embrace it. As firmly as octopus does crab. If others obstruct you, like octopus, eclipse your action with an inky cloak, and your dream is securely within your grasp. Yeah, use your ink. Okay. So, next, put these over here. Next, we're going to do the Psychic Tarot. Psychic Tarot. Okay, I'm going to take it out of the box, get you situated, and I'm going to do some shuffling. Spirit, what message does the collective need to hear? So it said today's going to be 72 today. Yesterday it was 66. And the days prior were in the low 60s, like 60, 61. So 72 is going to feel like, well, it's going to feel really warm compared to what it has been. And I barely remember any cold days growing up here. There's a few windy, cold days I remember. Once I was in kindergarten, and it was like a windy, cold day, and it was like a light showers, but it was off and on. And coming out of kindergarten, I didn't have a jacket, so my kindergarten teacher gave me an old, some other kid left it, but she figured it would be better to, for me to have something than not have anything. And when my sister came to get me, I think she got kind of nasty with the teacher saying, take that off my sister. And she was just mad that, there's two sides to see it, right? Better something than nothing, right? Or send me out in the cold. So give me something or send me out in the cold with not having the cover. And so my sister, she took that jacket or sweater or whatever and took it off of me and tossed it to the teacher, and she took off her own jacket and covered me. She was a good sister to me. Growing up, and time gets away from us. And the other day was my oldest brother's kind of like adopted mom. It was their birthday, and my brother asked me to bring a card by because he's so far away. And she was telling me stories about how she cared for him, and how he worked on the dairy farm for her, and they just had a bond. They created a bond that could never be broken. And she was celebrating her 91st birthday. Yes, yesterday or the day before? The day before. And I was telling her that out of my whole adult life, I've only spent 4 days in a row with him. And, you know, that's what happens when families don't have a regular get-together. Or, you know, we have a family reunion, but sometimes I would show up and sometimes he wouldn't show up. Or sometimes he showed up and I would show up. Or, well, you know what I'm saying. But then over the years, it just, there's like a few people that actually show up to those family reunions, and I've done it the past couple of years since I've been here, and it's coming up now. So I'm not sure really if I'm going this year or not. And I just don't know really how to feel about it. But my brother, you know, I went in the service when I was 17. So after that, I was on the East Coast for 20-something years, and then in Hawaii for 13 years. So that's way over half my life that I haven't lived here or in the state of California. Okay, something came out. The third eye chakra. So let's read that. The third eye chakra. The color is indigo, the sound is Om, the element is light, the gland is pituitary. Keywords I see. This is the most often talked about of all the chakras, and clairvoyance, inner seeing, intuition, and higher levels of consciousness are all associated with this energy center found between your eyebrows and just above the bridge of your nose. It works closely with the throat and crown chakras and will assist you with your psychic and intuitive inner guidance. To balance the third eye chakra, I recommend that you practice walking, meditations, breath work, yoga, tai chi, visualizations, and color therapy. Don't just focus on this one chakra as part of your development, as it's important to remember that they should all be in balance in order to work in unison and harmony. Third eye chakra. So I've heard before that when that is opening up, you know, you might feel a pain there, or it might get itchy, or, you know, it's just not itchy like a bug bite, but just like the awareness, right? It's like something's right there and I don't know what it is, so you rub it or whatnot. But the third eye chakra, the inner seeing. Oh, look. Now the crown chakra comes out. Color violet, sound none or Om can be used. The element thought. The gland pineal. Keywords I know. The crown chakra is located at the top of the head and has been called the 1,000-petaled lotus, or the receiver of light. This chakra is the center of your link with the universe, the infinite, and your higher consciousness. It's the connection between wisdom and spiritual insight. The crown center is the area where ethereal light and energy are received and then dispersed throughout your aura for total well-being. To balance the chakra, I find that meditation, breath work, yoga, spiritual healing, acupuncture, and color therapy work best. When properly aligned, your crown chakra will expand to a point where it's possible to access and tap into the deepest sources of wisdom. Okay. I suppose, you know, because I'm still learning, right? I suppose that would be a meaning like, say you're contemplating something and you go for a walk and all of a sudden you get the answer. it's, you know, I'm sure it's also opening your mind up to different possibilities. They say that, you know, doing tarot, you're opening up like, you could be opening up yourself to negative entities, maybe finding an easier way in. I don't really believe that. I believe that, you know, you ask God for prayer and protection, and you ask for it, and you get it, you know. You get it in your actions to support your God-fearing, God-loving soul, right? It's like you're just protected, and it takes a while to build up the protection. It's like the last reading, I lit the sage because I felt something that, well, when your skin starts burning and it feels like a bunch of needles prickling your skin, or if your temperature suddenly changes up, that's usually some sort of indication that either someone's talking bad about you, someone's thinking bad about you. It could be someone trying to cast a spell on you, you know, and casting a spell is just speaking words. Your words are your power, so how you use that. Are you, you know, are you one of hate or are you one of love? And the thing is you have to balance that out, because just like the world is off kilter, just a number would be something like 25% are really, really good people. Then the other 75%, maybe some people don't believe, you know, maybe they're atheist. And, well, okay, so if I say only 25% of the people are really, really good. All right, so I would say maybe 12% are atheist. And then the other 13%, one day they care, one day they don't. And so then the other 25% are just like bad, hateful, hurt, bitter people. So to balance the scale, it needs to be, you know, in a perfect world, it needs to be everybody's balanced. If everybody was equally balanced within, 50-50, right? Because it's still come to a point where you have to choose one side or the other. That makes sense. But for me, I don't really want to see my dark side. That's something I have to work on. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, I've probably said it a couple times, and I'll say it again. I wanted to kill my second husband, and I had a choice to make. And I had something pop up on my left shoulder. I saw out of my peripheral vision. And when I looked over, it sounded like a puff sound, and it was gone. But in my mind it said, go in the kitchen and get the 2 biggest knives and cut them up. You'll feel so much better. And I contemplated it for at least a minute. And a minute's a long time, right? To think about actually going in the kitchen and getting the knives. And right after that, well, my fists were in a clench. On my right side, I saw something in my peripheral vision. And as soon as I looked over, like tried to glance over to see what it was, it disappeared in the same manner. And it said, go for a walk. Now the voice that was on my left shoulder was like a male's voice. The voice on my right shoulder was like my mom. And God divinely guided me out from that situation. And that's why at the beginning of the reading, when I talked about your loved ones, when they go, they don't really go that far. Because energy, like, all right, how far can a light beam go? And how long does it take to get there? You're an energy after you leave your body. But the energy that was on my right shoulder when it said go for a walk, it sounded like my mom. And that week I walked 60 miles. And I couldn't tell you how many months. I would say that went on for maybe 4 months, maybe 6 months. I don't really remember how long I had been walking until I actually left out of that house. So the funny thing about that house is after Chris went to Vegas and I found the first fire, I sold him a whole bunch of tools that were just kind of scattered around it was probably like maybe $900, maybe $1,000 worth of tools. I let it go for $300. And I had to go back there for something. And so when I went back in there, I called the guy up. I said, have you been over here since you picked up the items? And he says, no, why? I said, I was wondering, did you change the light bulbs? Because it's brighter in there. And he said, that's the evil spirits that were there that are now gone. So I'm hearing that from someone else's mouth, okay? I know it was the truth. He never changed the light bulbs. He's the only one that had a key to the place besides me, and there was a clearing of negative spirits in there. So, long story short, there is good and bad, and it has to do with lighting. And I can tell you that all the years that I was married to him, he kept the room that he stayed in always was the living room, and he always kept it dark. And there's times when I'm like, why can't we just open the shades and let the sunlight in, But my bedroom was always lit up, and that's because in this house in Hawaii, the front windows were ceiling to floor, but they had the wooden louvers on it. And then the bedroom, which is considered a shotgun house, you walk in, there's a living room, the galley kitchen on one side, and then the bathroom on the other, and then you walk through and there's the bedroom. The bedroom had all glass jalousie. I never put any curtains up because I like the light to come in, in the morning. And those weren't full glass top to bottom. It was like the top 3 foot. So, you'd have to be like 6'5" or 6'10" to peek in, just because the way it is on the outside versus the inside. So, anyways, that was a quick story. We're 49 minutes in and we've got 2 cards full. Alright, let's try this one. Okay, that came up in the last reading. Mental conflict. Mental conflict is, you're in your head, you're thinking too hard, or maybe people have injected things into your mind that you keep replaying. It could be fear-based. It could be lies. It could be some sort of manipulation, like, I know what you did last summer, kind of thing. And I only use that term because it's been a year since I've seen that movie, but I mean it in the way that maybe someone has done something that they're really ashamed of, and they're told, oh, if you do this, then I'm going to say this. So it begins to be a mind game. So I can tell you that something happened to me, and someone tried to put me in that position. And the way I answered him was, yeah, what I did wasn't really right. But I told him, I said, how are people gonna look at you, knowing that you twisted and turned things to try to make me look bad? What are people gonna think about you for even making such a statement, true or not? Because what I do on my own time is my own business, right? And maybe something that I did was something I shouldn't have done. And it's not like I hurt anybody. I basically put myself in a position where I thought that I could trust this person, and it turned out that I couldn't trust him. And all he wanted from me was money. He wanted me to send him money. And so I said, how's it going to look? How's it going to look like when you bring this out, that you're a man and you said and did whatever to ask me for money, to get money out of me? And so, and I told him, I said, I'm a God-loving, God-fearing person. What's God going to think about you doing that? So it really sucks to have to play mind games. So, I tried to live in my truth in that situation. What I did wasn't, perfect. It wasn't like right, but I wasn't hurting anyone really but myself out of the whole thing. And that's only because I trusted the wrong person. So, that's a way to clear your mind, is go ahead and put it out there, because I don't really care. What are they going to think about you saying it? What are people going to, because obviously someone's feeling insecure, right? And they're trying to manipulate you to do something that they want you to do. So they have a fear of losing a hold on you. And so when they project to you, what are people going to think about you? You should already know that, they're projecting how insecure they are to even try to manipulate you to get something out of you by threatening you. And they could be threatening you with lies. They could be threatening you with truths. It doesn't really matter. What matters is the right thing to do is not to try to strong arm someone, right? Especially for money. You don't strong arm someone that you don't really owe them money. They just want your money, right? So they put you in a position where, oh, I'm going to be there for you. I really care about you. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And it's only about the money. So it really shows people who you are when you are ready to try to, strong arm someone and say, if you don't give me money, or if you don't do this like I want you to do, then I'm going to do this. Yeah, there's so many different ways to get manipulated. And it's so hard to, find someone that you could really love and trust. And I found out that the only way that I can ever be with anybody is if I see for myself that they're on the right side of God. And, a lot of times, I'm not trying to judge anybody, but a lot of times people will even portray that, or they might even really feel that way, but as soon as they get you where they want you, then they resume back to who they used to be. So I will pray, and I will wait for God to tell me, and I will wait for God to give me the one that's right for me. So whoever has this mental conflict, try to relax, try some breathing techniques, try to release the negativity that you're feeling. You know, you might want to write it down. Why do I feel this way? Who's making me feel this way? Why am I allowing them to make me feel this way? And just keep moving from there, and stand in your truth. You know, be who you need to be for yourself. Be the best version of you, and you will call in the right person who has their best vision of themselves, right? If you both are going down the same path trying to get healing, you guys could heal together. You could, you'd have a better understanding. Look, I've been hurt this way before. And, well, I don't know if you want to say that on your first date, but, you know, as you become intimate and you both become vulnerable to each other and talk about things, and you know, you're really feeling the love, and they're really feeling the love, and it's proof in the pudding, you know. And it's hard for any of us to really find the right one, but if you feel like there's someone you want to meet other than where you're at, you know, well, you have to break away the right way, and you have to move forward, or you can stay and work on where you're at, whether that's a job, a relationship, a marriage, you know, a friendship, whatever it is. People like to put other people in a mental conflict. What is that? Scare tactics, fear tactics, you're not enough tactics, whatever kind of insecurities they can put upon you. So that's when you want to go back to your childlike innocence, right? A kid can see things more clearer than an adult sometimes, you know, because they have a clearer mind. They have, they don't really have, say, discernment, but I think kids can see things. Sometimes it's like natural that they can like feel whether a person's good or bad better than some adults. Okay, so hopefully that helps someone. Let me just pull a card out because I've been shuffling like crazy. So try this one. Okay, love begins. So get out of your head and get into your heart. Isn't there a song? Get out of my head and into my car. No, so love begins. Someone's made a decision. They've used their crown chakra. They used their third eye chakra. They balanced it against their mental conflicts in their head, and realizing that, you know, they were making up stories in their own mind, or they were believing stories from what other people were saying. There wasn't any real proof. It was just words, you know, no receipts. And they're deciding that they choose love. Well, good for you, whoever you are. I'm glad you're getting out of your head. I love that song. Who is that? Billy Ocean. Get out of my head and into my car. Always love that song. It has such a good beat. Okay, let's get another card. So love's beginning. It's a new beginning. It's a 1, and it says love begins. So let's pull out another card here. I'm going to go for this one. Oh, partnership and alliances. So when love begins, it looks like it's a two-sided love, which is good. It looks like they could be very well equally yoked. And then, well, if you look at the fingertips, right? The man, he's very gentle because he's not pressing. And the woman, she's holding on. She's letting him know that I got you. I got you, and I'm not going to let go. So partnerships and alliances. So two people are possibly going to talk. They're going to touch. They're going to express. And they're going to set the ground rules. They're going to talk about, you know, their 5-year goal, their 10-year goal, their, you know, to get to know each other. Maybe you guys already know each other. Maybe you haven't met yet. But he's being very gentle with her, and he doesn't want her to pull away, so he's holding on at just the right pressure, you know, like not gripping her, but just gently holding on to her. And her thumb is, to me it looks like her thumb is really holding on. Not like a needy, but kind of, hey, I got you kind of hold. It's funny, I have a handshake that has that. So basically you grab the other person just like that, but then you slide it down to a handshake. And then what else was there? What else was there? Down to a handshake, or maybe it was like fingers like this. Yeah, maybe it was a handshake and then down like that, and then bumping elbows. That was my own little thing. When we were growing up, my brothers, they had their own unique handshake. So that was like, if you were part of the group, you had to know the handshake. So say if they had a room, right, which they never did, but in order to enter, you had to know the handshake. Maybe it was just like my brother's bedroom or something. And they had a secret handshake, and that's the only way you could get in. So partnerships and alliances, a new beginning, getting out of your head, understanding your crown chakra and your third eye and seeing things for what it is, and having divine connection to like give yourself your clarification, and then you're moving on to a partnership. So let's see, I'm going to cut these in half, then I'm going to fan it out, and I'm going to choose this one. Oh, I got two. So we got balance and we got passion ignited. So, oops. So they're balanced. They are working together. This one kind of reminds me of possibly like energetic connection. They're both realizing that, you know, it's going to take two for this journey. It's meant for two. And it's meant to be protected. It's meant to be two as one. So I say two as one because there's only one guy there. So if you both are part of the same cloth, if you are a twin flame, you're really one. So 1, 1, 2 becomes 1. And you see they have their sword, they have their cup. There's a star there. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but they have the light. They have that to protect. And then their relationship will be light. It's not going to be any pressure because they're both balanced. And if one's out of balance, because one and one become one, right? Then they're always going to work at doing for themselves as well as for each other in a loving way. And I say that because the passion has ignited. You know, maybe someone was waiting for an answer. Maybe someone said, I'm ready, are you? And maybe it was a phone call, maybe it was in person, maybe it was in a letter, maybe it was in an email, maybe it was energetic. And so as this is one, so is this, even though it's an 11. So two become one. And they both feel the same about each other. It's like the right concoction. It's like having the perfect soup that everybody adores, that everybody has a certain amount of envy, you know, especially the ladies. How come my soup's not as good as theirs? That's probably not a good analogy, but I'm saying soups are made in a lot of different ways. They're made with a lot of different ingredients, different spices, different vegetables, different meats. The meats are cooked differently. You know, sometimes people take the beef and they will like fry it or something first, and then, you know, they'll fry it with like garlic and onions and the spices. And, you know, the different spices really can make a soup taste different. And I use soup because soup is such comfort food. But no recipe is the same unless you follow a recipe. This is not a recipe. It's a recipe of love, right? It's a recipe of love that can't be matched. So when you make a pot of soup, you might find something similar to it. But unless you use the actual recipe, right? Every soup that is made is going to be slightly different or very different. But the passion's ignited, and I say soup because it's so comforting, you know, to be feeling comfort and to feel like you're being nourished, and it just hits the right spots. Okay, so that's my analogy from between love and soup. Okay, so let's see what else we got. So if someone just said, hey, I'm ready, are you? Are we going to move in together? You know, someone answered yes. Someone said, yeah, I'm waiting for you. Let's get it and get it going, you know. And it's not really about the sex. It's not really about, you know, being busy in that way. Of course, that helps to solidify a relationship, right? But all the boundaries have to be like at least talked about, you know, the basic ones, like, do you want an open relationship? No. Oh, okay, good, because I don't either. I want you to be the only one for me, and I want to be the only one for you, you know. And I don't really, you know, I usually say that if you ever want to leave, I'm never going to hold you back. And I don't believe in holding someone back because I want them. I believe that if the love's there, they'll always be there. If the love's not there, then why would I want them there? Why would I beg them to stay? So we iron out all those little issues, and it could be, we could just be friends for a while. Let's see how it goes. But you see, this does not say friends only. So you have to figure all that out. So it's going to be different for everybody. If it resonates for you, I'm happy for you. If it's not for you, that's okay. I'm happy that you're okay, that it's not for you. And I feel like everybody wants love in their life. So we're at 1:11 in right now. Okay. Power. The 8 is universal laws. It's strength. Power is strength. Universal laws is something that you have to live by. We are in this world. Our spirit is in that world. Our spirit is within us in this world. And we could probably go on and on about it, but what I feel like when I see this card is it has to be understood that the universal laws override the worldly laws. The worldly laws are set up supposed to be to protect people. The way the worldly laws now is to I just really feel like it's a way to manipulate the people, like say the United States. They set all the rules. They set all the boundaries on a national level. So they can dictate to you whenever that you're going to pay more taxes. They can dictate whether you can have a firearm or not. They can dictate things regarding your health. They can dictate what is displayed in school. So, the whole thing about this non-gender, gender, boy, girl, boy, whatever it is, I really don't feel personally like they should be sharing it with the elementary school or the junior high. And I say that because I think it could be confusing to kids as to which way they're supposed to go. And I think if we all just accept each other and enforce non-bullying, enforcing just the bullying things that go on in school. And if it's learned at home, then it's going to be hard to break. So it always starts at the home. So if we are teaching our children to not be discriminatory, if we're teaching them not to be judgmental, if we're teaching them to have morals and scruples, well, those are the things we're supposed to be teaching. However, when your child starts going through school and then they meet a friend that doesn't really carry any of those characteristics, maybe it's not because he or she doesn't know. Well, it could be that, but it could also be they're in the learning phase, right? Everybody goes through a learning phase on seeing who they are. You know, who are they? What place do they have in this world? So to bring that into the schools is one more thing to confuse them. You know, we're bringing in programs like that, but cutting out, I don't know, are they cutting out art? Are they cutting out music? What are they cutting out to fit this thing in? And I really believe that on the state level and or on the town levels, you know, the towns should be able to ask the people, how do you feel about this subject? And if the majority of them say no, I don't agree, then it should be understood, you know, that let's try not to do it. If we have to do it by state level, then we'll do it like at a minimum. And I just think it's confusing the kids. So it's just one more thing on their plate to keep them confused and not awoke. And so there's so many tactics with the government on how they put these people on these little gerbil wheels of life, like chasing money, and it's a forever thing, right? Those gerbils never come off the wheel until it's time to sleep and it's time to eat, or they die. So I believe the power of the universe, the universal laws, override the worldly laws. And I think if more people lived by that, and it's not even just like speaking of the Bible, okay? And the Bible has some good stuff in it. Again, it's been changed 30-something times. We don't know what the original really sounded like. We don't know what words were changed to suit that particular emperor or king, or at that time the changes were made. We just don't really know. So me personally, I have to take what good I can out of the Bible and try to apply it to my life. And with that said, you know, the universal laws always put love on the forefront. Love of self, love of family, love of home, love of community, love of country, love of the world, love of the, you know, Mother Nature. It's what's best for 7 generations down. Okay? So moving forward, someone's got the power. They have got the word. The word is, yes, we're going to move in together. And she's saying, I've been waiting for this for so long. They're both saying to each other, you are the love of my life. We balance each other out. Our partnership, he will always protect and she will never let go. I contemplated this a long time, or maybe we contemplated this for a long time, as in both of you might be saying. There's been so much outside interference, and it had me stuck in my head. You know, I had to prove myself to this group of people by doing things that I'm not really happy with what I did. Thank God you're a forgiving person. You helped me open up my crown chakra so I could connect with the universe. And my third eye sees everything for what it is. I've regained my power. I've empowered myself to make my own decisions in my own life. I will not let people hold me back. I've released any regret, knowing that, I've done things to hurt you. I know that you know everything because we're energetically connected. I get signs about you just like you get signs about me. The power of the mind, the power of the heart, the power of the soul. We will have this unbreakable love that so many people will be jealous of. It's like the perfect ingredients to the perfect soup. And it has everything to do with love and the battles we had to go through to get there. And we both carried through with the power from within and with God's grace and God's love and God's forgiveness. We can't help but to be successful in anything that we do together. So many will be envious of us, but they shouldn't be envious. They should embrace that they, were able to have these people in their lives and to appreciate such a pure love. And you guys will have a lot of fun. You'll be able to go down to the beach. You'll be able to frolic around. You'll be able to hug each other whenever you feel like it. You're going to look into each other's eyes. And when you do that, all of you will see is love. It's going to be like, the fairy tale love. And neither of you will ever do anything to sacrifice that. It's not anything worth sacrificing outside of how you two feel about each other. And then you guys will have each other for eternity. That's what God says the plan is. Okay, so let's pull out 3 more cards. Then I'm going to cut it a couple times. Do my cuts and then I'm going to pull them out. Just going to pull 3 in a row. Not sure what's going to come up, Okay, actually got 4. Okay, so no more temptation. I'm smart enough. I've lived enough life. I know I know everything that I don't ever want in my life again. I'm moving forward towards you for our new beginning. And together we've had transformations, but we're going to continue to grow and learn, and transformation is going to be an ongoing thing as we take on different endeavors, as we become one, as we show the world what it's like to transform into these beautiful butterflies. Okay, so that's the end of the reading. Let me get my other device so we can do the time zone thing. The time. Okay, it is 6:55. Okay, so let me type that in. Okay, I just went to 656. Oh, what to do? Okay, I'm just going to look at both of them. Maybe I'll just read part of both of them. Okay. So it's an hour 25, so yeah, I could read both of them. So 655. "655 is a compilation of the energies of number 6 and the attributes of number 5 appearing twice, purifying its influences. Number 6 relates to material aspects of life, home, family, and domestic, expressing gratitude and grace, compromise, service to others, and selflessness, responsibility and reliability, and providing for the self and others, personal willpower, finding solution, and overcoming obstacles. Number 5 brings important life changes and auspicious new opportunities, making life choices and decisions, and learning life lessons through experience, magnetism, competitiveness, resourcefulness, adaptability, and versatility, individuality, and doing things your own way. Angel number 655 suggests that major changes are taking place in your life, and you may be feeling apprehensive or anxious about what is ahead of you. Know that these changes are happening to advance you along your life path and soul mission, and you are encouraged to take full advantage of the changes and the new opportunities they will bring. Your prayers and positive affirmations have manifested these much needed changes, so trust that they are right for you. Angel number 655 encourages you to bring some fresh new energies into your home and family environment, and or start a project related to something that you are truly interested in. You can also expect some positive new additions to your home and or family life, and or some great news coming your way. As you live your life true to your own values and personal spirituality, the angels and the universal energies will ensure that all of your needs are taken care of, leaving you free to pursue the course of action that takes you closer to living your personal truths. Angel number 655 indicates that wonderful changes are taking place and new opportunities will miraculously appear with help from your angels. When you live your life being true to yourself and honest with others, you manifest positive energies and desired results and outcomes. Okay, so let's see what 656 means. Let's see. Okay, didn't see 656. Angel number 656. Okay, 656 is a blend of the qualities and attributes of number 6, appearing twice, amplifying its influence and the vibrations of number 5. Number 6 brings the energies of love of home. Okay, you guys got all that. Let's see. Number 5 relates to making positive life choices. Angel number 656 indicates that major changes are currently taking place in your life. Know that these changes are happening to advance and assist you along your life path and soul journey, and the angels encourage you to take full advantage of these new energies and the auspicious opportunities that come with them. The material and monetary aspects of your life are changing in positive ways, and you can expect abundance, new possessions, and acquisitions to enter your life. Angel number 656 encourages you to take control and make choices and life changes that will improve and enhance your life in all ways. Trust that by making these changes, you will find personal fulfillment on all levels, and you will also be in a position to bring more stability and balance to a home and/or family issue or situation. With each perceived obstacle and challenge, there is always a higher purpose and opportunities for change and further growth. The angels cannot prevent you from experiencing such things as bereavement, grief, heartache, and loss, if they are part of the divine plan of your life. However, they can comfort, support, encourage, help, heal, and love you during and after the experience. Okay. So what I find unique about that one is that's what was my beginning thing about having a loss, and how do we process that? So I think I want to study up on the loss of innocence, right? And maybe do some sort of reading on that. So many times children have that. And, children, they need healing too. I know the one thing about how to help heal that is through love, but, it's love and patience, and, it would be nice to develop some sort of, like say if, I have 150 subscribers and all of you have kids. So if your child has experienced that, maybe you can just talk to them about how they feel. And then if 10 people replied back, it would still be a generalization, and it'd only be a small group of people, but at least it would be an input from 10 different perspectives. And then how we can possibly move forward to give some good advice to help them heal and know that things that happen were never their fault. Kids often feel like, oh, my parents aren't together because I must have done something, maybe they just feel like I was born, so it must have ruined the relationship or something. I don't know what kids really think. I don't come from a broken family in the sense that my mom and dad split up. Mine was because my mother passed away. But it's a different kind of pain, and it's a different kind of hurt. So we need to start trying to heal ourselves so we can heal our children, at least advise them, because sometimes they're already grown, but they still carry that maybe resentment or the guilt, or they still carry the grief in such a heavy way that they need to be able to release it and make their lives better. So thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you guys. I send you so much love and so much light, happiness, healing, joy, peace, contentment. And if I hadn't said it before, I'll say it again. I pray for your healing. We'll see you the next time. God bless and aloha.